Well, that was an eyewitness. Let's speak to Dr. Afshin Shahi, who's a security and terrorism expert from the University of Bradford. Morning to you.
Good morning.
We're watching those pictures and the parts of the lorry are being taken away. The investigation is underway as we speak. They also said today, didn't they, the authorities, that they'd suspect this was a terror attack. What do you make of it?
Yes, I mean, in the first few hours, the authorities were a little bit reluctant to treat the incident as a terrorist act. But after 4 or 5 hours, it became almost impossible to kind of associate it to simply an accident, because every evidence available on the ground suggested that kind of the attack was deliberate. And then in the matter of minutes of the atrocity, various kind of cyber platforms which are affiliated to the Islamic State, they started to kind of celebrate kind of the atrocity in Berlin, and the Islamic State kind of claimed responsibility. So to me, it kind of became very clear in the matter of kind of a couple of hours that actually this atrocity was connected to the Islamic State.
And like many European cities, Berlin has been on a state of high alert looking for something like this that might happen. And there were attacks in Munich in July earlier this year.
Yeah, I mean, 2016 proved to be a very, very, very problematic year for European security. And as you said it yourself, we should not treat what happened last night in Berlin as an isolated incident. And if you do look at kind of various capitals around Europe, the security has been already very, 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 very tight. And just before coming to the studio, I read the news, various important capitals around the continent, particularly in Paris, you know, they're going to kind of raise the security, and probably the same thing is going to take place or happen in the UK as well.
Of course, yesterday as well saw the killing of the Russian ambassador as well in Turkey. I mean, is this part of a all connected, or what would you make of it?
It is very difficult to associate what happened in Ankara to what happened last night in Berlin. But what we cannot deny is that what is happening right now in the Middle East, what is happening in Syria, without any doubt, has some serious influence and serious impact on what's happening here. Syrian civil war has proved to be a globalized conflict. What is happening in Syria is definitely has some implications for us, because the gunman yesterday, just a few seconds after gunning down the ambassador, the Russian ambassador, kind of said that this is the revenge for Aleppo. And obviously what happened last night was claimed by the Islamic State, which is obviously still relatively strong both in Syria and Iraq.
You mentioned about how this will impact on us here in the UK. I mean, our security forces are constantly looking at things like this and where they might happen and trying to prevent them. But will there be extra special measures, do you think, in the coming days and weeks?
I mean, over the last few weeks, a number of security officials in the UK have been kind of warning us about a possible attack. And definitely this has been the case over the last few years. But we have to be very careful, because statistically, Britain and Europe is safer today